Hello friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. How are you? Today, the robots are taking over. Yeah, maybe you think Transformers, but I'm thinking more like Terminator. Yeah, Skynet. AI has chosen today's list. That's right. I went to the good old Chat GPT and I asked it, hey, what in your opinion are the 50 absolute best must-own fragrances for men? Like if you were starting a collection from scratch, you had nothing, what 50 fragrances, oh great and powerful AI, should we use? What should we have? What should we buy? And it blessed me with the list that I'll be sharing with you here today. I will link these in the description below, which frankly I hate doing because it takes forever, but they'll be down there. According to AI, these are the absolute must-own 50 fragrances for men. These are the tops. I was sad to realize that my fragrances were not included. Thanks, AI. I probably could have coached it to go ahead and include them, but I tried to coach this as little as possible. We'll get into that in a second. But my fragrances, Terra Nova, Jet Black Enigma, and Blue Ridge are at every single Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the United States. If you have one nearby, stop in, give them a smell. If you like them, give them a buy. And if you order them from the website, which is linked in the description, use the code GENTS for 20% off your order. Okay, let's jump into it. Now, there were some ground rules. The fragrances I did not want to be discontinued. So if they were very difficult to find, I told the AI, replace that with something else. I didn't tell it what to replace it with. I just said, hey, take that out because it's discontinued. And then also it made some suggestions that were pretty interesting. So I'm gonna read off some of the suggestions that it gave me that I did have it remove, and I'll tell you why. So Narciso Rodriguez for Helm, D Squared, He Would. Recommended both of these. I had those removed because of discontinuation. Same thing with Marc Jacobs Bang and Gucci Pour Homme 2. So those were recommended, but I had them taken out because you can't really find them. Then it also recommended Dior J'adore, Mugler's Angel, Marc Jacobs Honey, and Armani C Intense. The problem with these, they are for women, but according to the AI, maybe you want to wear them anyway. I don't know, but I had them remove those because they're marketed toward women. And then some of the other really cool suggestions that the AI made was that maybe you would enjoy Gucci Pour Homme 3. Oh wait, that fragrance doesn't exist. That's not a real thing. But the AI said that you would really like it. So Gucci Pour Homme 3 and also Green Iris Tweed Intense. That's sounding good to me, man. Unless the AI knows something that I don't, that doesn't exist. And the last one that I told it to remove, it really, really wanted that Dior J'adore because when I told it, hey, that's for women, can you take that out? It went ahead and replaced it with Dior J'adore Pour Homme. Outside of that, I did not coach the AI at all. I let it pick whatever it wanted to pick as long as it fell within the parameters of it being a fragrance marketed toward men, primarily toward men, and also not being impossible to find. So here we go. This is the top 50. First fragrance, the number one, Chanel Bleu de Chanel Eau de Toilette. This was the first fragrance. It popped up immediately, Chanel Bleu de Chanel. And I was like, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Because that fragrance you can use pretty much anywhere. Blue scent, really the king of blue scents as far as kicking that off in earnest for men. The blue fragrance wave. Extremely versatile, very people-pleasing. You can wear it in pretty much any situation. The stuff just works. Now, I should say that it just recommended Bleu de Chanel. It didn't specify Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum, Parfum, but I'm assuming the Eau de Toilette since that was the first one. So that's what we're going with. The second fragrance, Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. So yeah, the AI obviously knows what it's doing as far as popularity of scents here. You got Bleu de Chanel and you got the other enormous king monster destroyer blue fragrance, Dior Sauvage. And I think if you were going to boil down designer blue fragrances into just two scents, those would probably be it, wouldn't it? Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. Number 3, Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Gotta say, I agree with it. Tom Ford Noir Extreme is an awesome fragrance. It's warm, it's spicy, it's quite unique. And even though it is unique, it's still a compliment puller. And being a Tom Ford, really high quality. It's pricey, but worth it. Number 4, Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. And you guys have to let me know after the end of this how good of a job you think the AI did here. If it did a really good job compiling this, or if it kind of didn't do so hot. But Versace Eros, number 4, and this is interesting. It actually recommended Eros twice. At one point, it had Eros as like the 4th recommended fragrance and also the 40-something recommended fragrance. So I had to tell the AI, hey, you got Eros on there twice. Where they really liked Dior J'adore, they apparently very much like Eros as well. Another one, huge compliment puller, extremely versatile, great performance. The apple and mint in this is what it's really well known for, along with that kind of vanilla vibe. Number 5, YSL. La Nuit de l'Homme, the original Eau de Toilette. So again, another monster release, big time date night fragrance, extremely sexy, huge compliment puller, hype beast. So the top 5, the first 5, I think all of these you could pretty comfortably recommend to somebody getting into fragrances, and they should all work. I mean, maybe Noir Extreme is the most unique of the first 5, but I got no qualms with these. Number 6, pretty interesting one, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Eau de Toilette. Interesting for me to see it recommended so early on. And one thing that I did notice, there are flankers kind of interspersed throughout the list as we go on, but the AI really seemed to gravitate toward the originals of these lines. So number 6, L'Homme Ideal, certainly one of the most easygoing fragrances from Guerlain if you're just getting started with fragrances. Really solid one for cool weather and cold weather. And potentially even warm weather if you don't spray too much. And it set in motion that whole almond vibe that line is really well known for. Number 7, Prada Luna Rossa, the original Eau de Toilette once again. Now for me personally, I probably would have recommended one of the flankers, you know, Luna Rossa Black, Luna Rossa Carbon, Luna Rossa Ocean, but the original Luna Rossa works. It's got a nice kind of sportiness to it. It's clean, it's fresh, a little aromatic tinge to it. So I'm not gonna argue about that one either. Number 8, Aqua de Jo, the original Eau de Toilette. Again, same thing with Luna Rossa. Me, you know, I'd probably tell you to go Profumo, Profundo, something like that, even Profundo Lights, depending on how old you are, what you're looking for. Maybe Absolute actually works better for you. The original, tried, tested, and true, but for a lot of people, the original Aqua de Jo might feel a little bit played out at this point. But there's no denying that it's a masterpiece as far as modern men's designer fragrances goes. And I'm a sucker for this stuff, so I mean, what can I say? Number 9, Calvin Klein Eternity for Men. Again, the original, and the same thing that I've been saying. Maybe depending on your age, you want to look at one of the flankers, one of the more modern releases in the line. But yeah, Eternity, I'm fine with that because Eternity is not very expensive, and it's good to have some of these fragrances that help set in motion the things that came after it. And the original Eternity, a big hit for men. Number 10, Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Pour Homme. Again, the original. And I'm not going to be a broken record here, so yeah. I have to give Light Blue Pour Homme props. Massive release, super successful, still crushing it to today. I mean, anybody who is working on fragrances would feel so pumped to have a fragrance under their name come out that's done as well as Light Blue Pour Homme has. Like, let's be real. So no knock on its success. Absolutely has crushed it for years and years and years for spring, summertime, early fall men's fragrance. Number 11, pretty interesting, Bulgari Aqua Pour Homme. Again, the original. So Bulgari Aqua going to give you a different flair, a different feeling for an aquatic type scent, leaning more into that oceanic side of things instead of just trying to go fresh, clean, fresh, clean, fresh, clean. Number 12, Hugo Boss The Scent, the original. And I do have to give Boss The Scent props as well because this set in motion, obviously the whole The Scent line, using the Meninka fruit to really make that the focal point of the fragrance was a good idea and a little bit daring, you could say, as far as designer scents goes. I do think the flankers are better, but not a bad place to start. I mean, if you do think about it that way, getting the first fragrance from a lot of these lines does let you know, okay, here's the origination of this scent, and this is how it's evolved. You know, it lets you kind of see that starting point. 13, Issey Miyake L'Odyssée Pour Homme. Another classic. Fantastic for summertime. Love the yuzu in it. A little bit of a different flair, different feeling to it. Number 14, Le Male, Jean Paul Gaultier, the original. Massive hit. I'd say one of the top 10 most popular men's designers ever. It's a little powdery. It's another one that's been worn to death, but can't deny it. Number 15, Burberry Brit. pretty affordable nowadays. A lot of Burberry fragrances at discount are super cheap. A scent that maybe doesn't get talked about anymore nowadays, but yeah, I could see this working for a lot of people, and it's not gonna cost that much. 16, Paco Rabanne 1 million. Another one, massive. A lot of people think the gold bar is tacky. A lot of people think that the fragrance is maybe too loud, but it has stood the test of time. Massive compliment puller, great for a night out, and good versatility overall, as long as you don't go too heavy. 17, Amen from Mugler. So with this one, they basically just took Angel and they swapped it for Amen. And I thought that was fine. I mean, you're going Mugler to Mugler, you're going A to A, whatever. A to A, that sounds weird. Yeah, Amen, beast of a fragrance. I wish that all the flankers that came after it were still around, and I wish they were still building on this fragrance, but still though, solid pickup. 18, Cool Water, the original. Love it. A very inexpensive alternative to Green Irish Tweed, perfect for spring and summertime, and another massive hit. Number 19, Ralph Lauren Polo Red. The original Polo Red, the Eau de Toilette. This one I did a video recently on my extra channel about. Like the opening a lot, really dig the cranberry. I do think, once again, that Intense and Extreme that came afterward are better than the original Polo Red, but Polo Red is not bad. You can still wear this easily. Nice, versatile, good scent. Number 20, Gucci Guilty. The original, again, Gucci Guilty, a fragrance that gets a little bit of hate in the fragrance community. But overall, if you're looking for something clean, fresh, a little bit classy, stuff works super well. Another one that people love. Women just seem to adore Gucci Guilty. So if you're after that, if you're after compliments, the stuff is top notch. Number 21, Declaration d'un Soir from Cartier. Déclaration d'un Soir. This one I was surprised to see, and I think it's a great choice. The rose in there, just expertly done. It's not, heavy and jammy. It's very fresh, classy, done with a masculine twist. It's a really wonderful fragrance. So that one was very, very welcome to see. 22, Terre d'Hermès, the OG. Once again, it's a classic, modern masterpiece. Nothing that I can say to detract from that. So that choice, that's a choice I'd put in there, frankly. So yeah, Terre d'Hermès, maybe you go with one of the flankers, if one of those works better for you, but I think you got to get something from the Terre d'Hermès lineup in there. So yeah. Number 23, Tom Ford Oud Wood. Again, yes, Oud Wood. Even if there are so many other fragrances out there nowadays that do a Tom Ford Oud Wood type of scent profile, and maybe some of those work better for you, Oud Wood is the one that set all that in motion. So you gotta get it, you gotta have it. Extremely wearable, a great jumping off point into oud type scents. 24, Mont Blanc Legend. Kind of smells like Fierce, and Fierce did not actually make the top 50. So yeah, maybe the AI in its infinite wisdom was comparing the price points between Fierce and Legend. Legend is way more affordable, and comparing how they smelled, and it thought to itself, I think Legend is the better buy. I'm gonna put it in there. Do I think that's actually what happened? No, but we can pretend. Number 25, this may be the one that surprised me the most. Giorgio Beverly Hills Red. Yes. Extremely affordable. This stuff is mega cheap. It might be the cheapest thing in the entire list. I didn't check prices beforehand, but it probably is. Does it have a throwback masculine feel to it? Absolutely, it does. But for that price point, very solid if you're an enjoyer of classically masculine scents. And really, all you have to do is look at the note breakdown for this one, and you'll know right away kind of what I'm talking about. Anytime you see a fragrance that has carnation, leather, and oak moss in it, you know what you're in for. 26, Creed Aventus. Yeah, you knew it was gonna find its way in there somewhere, right? Aventus has been cloned, impersonated, it has inspired countless fragrances out there. You've smelled something that smells like Aventus at some point, even if you haven't smelled Aventus. So yeah, it makes sense as one of the 50 that you need to at least know, if not own. Number 27, Bentley for Men Intense. I find this interesting that it's working in some of these fragrances now that the fragrance community talks about a lot, but that I would not ever expect your average Joe to really know about. So Bentley for Men Intense, this one smells similar to Olfactive Studio. Chambre Noir smells similar to Idole de Luban, only much more affordable. So kind of a niche type smelling fragrance at a designer price. Number 28, Fahrenheit Eau de Toilette. Fahrenheit is a fragrance that even this long after its release, you know it pretty much right away, don't you? When you smell Fahrenheit, you're like, oh yeah, that's Fahrenheit. For better or worse, you know what Fahrenheit smells like. And it is so unique, and it's still around, but it's a fragrance that doesn't get emulated quite as much as some of these other really big releases do. Took some cojones to put out Fahrenheit, say that much. Number 29, Varvatos Artisan. So just regular old Artisan here. I think it's a solid scent, especially if you pick it up for a good price. It has a nice little bit of classiness to it. It's fresh, it's clean, a little aromatic. It's an interesting scent to smell. And I love the presentation. The bottle looks great. Number 30, Kenzo Pour Homme. Now with this, it's Kenzo Pour Homme, not Kenzo Homme. So the new Kenzo Homme is the one that's in the bamboo looking bottle. And then the old Kenzo Pour Homme bottle, which looks like this up here, which I like that look. I think it's pretty sweet. That's the one that it is recommending, and that one makes more sense to be recommended because that one is a fragrance that a lot of people do hold up as sort of a modern classic at this point. 31, Lancôme Hypnose. Beautiful bottle, really nice cardamom note to it. Some people compare it to La Nuit de l'Homme, not super close to La Nuit though. You could think of it as like a classier, slightly more mature type of fragrance that you would wear in similar situations to La Nuit though. That would work. 32, Gentleman Only, not Gentleman. Gentleman Only. Don't know that I would have chosen this one, but I do think that it's a fragrance that's frankly overlooked at this point. Really, really versatile. Has a nice little incense touch to it. And like you would expect from the name, it's got a nice classiness to it. But this is like business casual kind of fragrance. It doesn't lean full on into the formal side of things, but it does have a nice little classy touch while keeping it casual. 33, Armani Code Eau de Toilette, which at this point has been repackaged. You know, it's put into the new bottle style. You can let me know what you think about that. Some people hate it, some people love it. Code Eau de Toilette though makes sense, huge release. Great for winter time, fall time, and the evening. 34, Clinique Happy for Men. Yes, it makes sense, even though I probably would work other things into this list instead of it myself. It's got a citrus opening that a lot of people love. The downfall here is going to be the performance is not great. To be fair though, it is a Clinique fragrance, so I don't know like how much you could really expect some big time performance, but hey, it still is very popular, so it makes sense. 35, Polo Double Black. Did not expect this one. Double Black, a coffee-based fragrance, got some mango in there, and frankly, I think it smells really good. Double Black actually, in the air, is nice. Nice. It's real nice. Problem is gonna be it doesn't have as much performance once again as you might hope. And this one I think is discontinued, but as of this video, you can still find it in discounters, so I'll let it slide. 36, Diesel Only the Brave. Good old Diesel. What would we do without those amazing Diesel fragrances? Only the Brave. Really though, there could be worse choices. I mean, I'm okay with this one. 37, Jimmy Choo Man from discounters, very affordable. Kind of a nice alternative to more expensive blue fragrances. Like if you can't afford Bleu de Chanel or Dior Sauvage or YSL or something like that, you could rock with Jimmy Choo Man. It's still gonna smell very good. People are gonna like it. It's gonna get you compliments. The bottle looks nice. It's from a brand people know. So again, it's okay. I'll let it slide. Would I put it there? Probably not, no, but whatever. 38, Tobacco Vanille. Absolutely, yes. Tobacco, fruits, vanilla, smells awesome. Yes. 39, Fahrenheit Le Parfum. Much more difficult to find than Fahrenheit. You have to hope that it's in stock at discounters, but it pops up from time to time. Expensive. More modern take on Fahrenheit. The booziness that's added in there really elevates it. Love the scent. 40, Stronger With You. Again, no problem. Would I pick Stronger With You? No. I'd probably pick Stronger With You Absolutely, or Stronger With You Oud. Yeah, probably just Absolutely. But again, getting the one that kicked off the whole line is never a bad thing. It's not a bad place to start. 41, Dior Homme Intense. Yeah. Duh. Why did I take to 41? You shouldn't have taken that long, but Dior Homme Intense, yes. 42, CK1 Shock. It was a little kind of hype beast for a while. Cheap, affordable, very sweet. Good compliment puller for what it is, honestly, and I always got good performance from it. So if you pick it up on the cheap, I think it's a good fragrance. 50 best like ever kind of thing, no, but I don't mind too much the inclusion. 43, Paco Rabanne Invictus Intense. Interesting choice. but I do like Invictus Intense more than the original Invictus. Another one that adds a little booziness in there that I think elevates the fragrance again, smooths things out, not quite as sugary sweet in there. It's still sweet, just not quite as bubblegummy as the original. So I'll take Invictus Intense over the original Invictus, and I do feel like Invictus should be in here. 44 is an interesting one. It is Intenso from Dolce & Gabbana. So yeah, again, this is kind of one of those ones where you question it, like, you sure? Okay. I like Intenso. I actually like Intenso a lot. I wore it to the office back when it was brand new for quite a while. It was like my daily scent for a while. I think it's gotten a little more hate than is warranted. But again, it's another one where I do look at it and go, not sure. 45, Tom Ford. Effin' fabulous. I could feel the YouTube band hammer above my head. Big hit. Tom Ford obviously finding a lot of love in the list. AI digging on that Tom Ford. And this is one of the more popular ones that's come out here recently from the brand, so it makes sense. 46, Burberry Touch. Touch at one point, much more popular than it is nowadays. It's another one though that has that wearability, and you find that across a lot of these fragrances here. So Touch, sure, I guess. 47, Dylan Blue from Versace. A little more blue fragrance love, a little more blue fragrance action in here. This one is not as expensive as the big dogs, but a little more expensive than Jimmy Choo. So it's kind of like in between them, in between the Dior's and the Jimmy Choo's. Again though, you're looking for something you can wear just about any time and get compliments, it'll do it. We're in the home stretch, number 48, Legend Night from Montblanc. So another legend, not the one I would have thought. Legend Night is not really one of the more popular ones. It's not that it's not popular, I should say. It's just you don't see it talked about as much as some of the other Legend releases. It's got a similarity to Halloween Man Shot. It's fairly affordable most of the time from discounters. Performance could be a little bit better, but it's a solid compliment puller. It's one that people very much enjoy. So again, top 50, don't know about that, but whatever. 49, Azzaro Chrome Intense. If it were just Azzaro Chrome, I would go, yeah, that makes sense. Chrome is a big release. If it were Chrome Extreme or Aqua, then maybe that makes more sense because it's ones that have been talked about more. But no, Chrome Intense. Okay. I mean, sure. It is similar to the original Chrome. It's got that freshness, kind of an out of the shower vibe. Does it smell a little bit cheap-ish? I mean, it is a Chrome. Number 50, the last one, Creed Green Irish Tweed. I did not coach it to put that in, but I can tell you what happened. It had Creed Green Irish Tweed Intense as the 50th fragrance, and I said, hey, replace that with something else. That fragrance doesn't exist. And it said, okay, sure, Green Irish Tweed. So, of course, I'm gonna be okay with that. Probably my favorite Creed fragrance, one of my favorites of all time. A wonderful fragrance for spring and summertime and fall as well, frankly, all year, in my opinion. And yes, it does smell similar to Cool Water, which was also on this list. And I will read the final note that the AI gave us. This list should provide a great foundation for a diverse and interesting fragrance collection for men, including some classic scents and some new and innovative fragrances. As always, it's important to try out fragrances and see what works for you personally. It's good advice. So this video was crazy long. I'm sorry about that, but there we go. 50 fragrances that you gotta own for a collection according to the ever-growing and powerful AI. Thank you all for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and again, let me know what you think about the AI list. See you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.